Name: Kale, the Alpha King's disgraced eldest son. 3 years ago, after the border war, his wolf's hole had been damaged. Ever since then, he had been plagued by sickness and pain, and his temper had turned so violent that no one dared get close to him. Everyone in the kingdom called him a madman. Across the entire northern kingdom, not a single she-wolf was willing to marry him. I looked at the name on the parchment. The black ink had not even dried.
Rowan, I'm asking you one last time. Are you sure you want to do this?
Selena, Mira cried all night. She was raised to be the future Lunar Queen. Then you came back, and suddenly the marriage alliance that was supposed to be hers had to go to you instead. Do the sensible thing. Let her have this. Mom, Dad, and I will find you a more suitable mate later.
I almost laughed. A more suitable mate. So in his eyes, the king's sick, violent eldest son was just a lesson they could throw me into until Mira stopped crying. Fine, but you'll regret this. The bell in the hall rang. The bonding ceremony began. I followed Rowan into the royal hall. Mira sat beside Damon in an ice-white gown, her eyes red, as if she had just suffered the greatest wrong in the world. When she saw me, she bit her lip lightly and leaned closer to Damon. Damon lifted a hand to shield her. The way he looked at me made me feel like a problem that should never have existed. I walked down the red carpet and knelt on one knee before the ceremonial platform. The royal elder's voice fell over my head.
Selena, daughter of the Alpha of Moonstone Pack, willingly accepts Kale, the king's eldest son, as her mate.
For one breath, the entire hall went dead silent. Then the whispers spread like a tide.
Kale? The madman from Pinewood Residence?
Rowan is ruthless. He actually sent his own sister to that kind of man.
I heard Kale even attacks physicians when he loses control. How many days can she survive?
Under everyone's gaze, I accepted the bonding crown. I accept. The pitiful look on Mira's face frozen. Rowan finally panicked. He stepped forward and lowered his voice.
Selena, stop making trouble. I only wanted to cheer Mira up. Are you crazy? How could you actually agree to it?
I did not look at him. On the high seat, the Alpha King frowned.
Selena, the marriage alliance between Moonstone Pack and the royal family has stood for years. Today's change to the list was only an accident. You are the heir of Moonstone Pack. You should complete the mate bond with Damon.
Before he could finish, Damon had already risen to his feet.
Father, I will not marry her.
The hall went quiet. Damon took Mira's hand and looked at me without the slightest shame.
How could I possibly take an untrained country bumper as my mate?
Damon, don't say that. Selena will be hurt.
I'm only telling the truth.
Then he turned to me as if he were tossing scraps to a stray dog.
Selena, out of pity, I can allow you into the palace. You won't be my mate, but you can stay by Mira's side as a lowly maid. Serve her. Serve me too.
Rowan visibly relaxed. My parents looked as if they had finally found a way out. Everyone thought I would accept that so-called mercy. No.
What did you say?
I said no. Selena, I know you hate me, but Damon only wanted to give you a way out. Why do you have to make this so ugly? I'm not the ugly one here. I looked at the ice-white gown she was wearing. A stolen position doesn't become yours just because you dress it up.
Enough! Apologize to Mira!
Don't force me to humiliate you here.
You already have.
Rowan's face went pale. My mother finally could not hold back anymore. She stood up.
Selena, you've only been back in Moonpen Pack for 2 years, and you're already tearing this family apart. Mira is our adopted daughter. Her father died fighting for the Pack. We owe her! Why do you have to fight her over everything?
Did I fight her? You were the ones who brought me back and told me I was the heir of Moonstone Pack. You were also the ones who said the royal marriage alliance had to be completed by the heir. Now Mira cries, and suddenly I'm the one who came back too soon. No one in the hall spoke.
Your Majesty, Selena accepted the bonding crown in public. Under royal law, a pledge made before the court cannot be taken back on a whim.
Then let her marry Kale. When he scares her until she comes crawling back on her knees, we can talk.
Selena, don't be stubborn. Kale is truly terrifying. I heard that last month, a physician merely touched his medicine bowl, and he grabbed the man by the throat and threw him out. Her voice was not loud, but it was loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. The whispers rose again. I only asked Rowan one question.
Is this the result you wanted?
It's just a lesson. Once you learn what fear feels like, you'll understand that we're doing this for your own good.
For my own good? Then don't regret it.
After we returned to the Moonstone Pack residence, my mother ordered the doors shut. Then she raised her hand and slapped me. My ears rang.
Do you know how many people laughed at Mira because of you today?
I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth. You should ask him why he changed the list.
You're still trying to push this onto me?
Enough! Tomorrow morning, you will go to Pinewood Residence. After you marry Kale, don't come back and disgrace Moonstone Pack again.
Selena, if you admit you were wrong now, I can plead for you. I ignored her. Damon's ceremony to name his future Luna Queen is coming up. Since you don't want to be his lowly maid, you should at least come and watch. After all, that was supposed to be your place. At dawn the next day, I was sent to Pinewood Residence. When the butler led me into the front hall, a physician had just retreated from inside. There were red marks on his neck. His medical case had fallen open, and bottles were rolling all over the floor.
Miss Selena, don't go near His Highness's medication, and don't touch him.
I had not come here to comfort Kale, and I certainly had not come to clean up another man's mess. But the person behind the door suddenly spoke, his voice hurried and cold.
She's here. Let her in. You're the she-wolf who agreed in public to marry me?
Yes.
Do you regret it?
Not yet.
The corner of his mouth moved, almost like a smile, yet not quite.
The whole kingdom avoids me. You're bold.
I'm not bold. I just don't want to go back and serve Damon and Mira as a lowly maid.
Only then did Kale truly look at me.
So you're using me as your way out?
You can think of it that way.
I smelled that sharp, bitter herb. It was not medicine meant to heal him. It was an herb used to suppress a wolf soul. I glanced at it, but said nothing.
Moonstone Pack has sent something for Miss Selena.
Just then, a maid's voice came from outside the door.
Miss Mira said tomorrow is the ceremony for her to become the future Luna Queen. Since Miss Selena has never learned royal etiquette, you should begin with the simplest task. Please wear this uniform, hand her cloak to her in public, and then read this blessing.
I unrolled the parchment. It was not a blessing, it was a declaration giving up my inheritance. At the bottom, someone had already signed my name for me. In the witness column, the name written there was Rowan.
Who told you to bring this? Naturally, Miss Mira.
Then tell her this. Tomorrow at the ceremony, I'll read it myself.
They're trying to force you to validate a forged declaration in public.
Do you need me to stop the ceremony for you?
No. If she wants that seat, let her sit on it. The higher she climbs, the harder she'll fall.
The next day, The royal hall was even livelier than it had been during the binding ceremony. When I walked in wearing my own black dress, the whispers beneath the platform stopped for a moment. Someone laughed.
Why isn't she wearing the maid uniform?
Selena, I thought you would be a little more obedient. After all, today is very important to me.
The fact that you're allowed to appear here is already proof of Mira-Ov's kindness. Don't make trouble again.
I ignored him and walked straight onto the platform. The royal elder was about to read the ceremonial vows when Mira suddenly reached out and grabbed my wrist.
Selena, yesterday you said you would read the blessing yourself. Everyone is waiting.
Below the platform, Rowan stood beside our parents. The moment he saw the declaration, he visibly relaxed. He thought I would be afraid of tearing everything open public, afraid of disappointing my parents, afraid of Damon's disgust. I, Selena, daughter of the Alpha of Moonstone Pack,
voluntarily give up my status as heir, and acknowledge that Mira is better suited to become the future Luna Queen. Soft gasps sounded throughout the hall. Mira lowered her eyes, as if my generosity had moved her beyond words. Damon's expression also eased, and I am willing to serve Mira and Damon for life as a lowly maid. I continued reading.
That's too cruel. She really signed it?
At last, someone could not help whispering, Selena, thank you for letting me have this.
Don't rush.
At the bottom of this declaration, there is my name. I looked at Rowan. And yours.
Rowan, as the witness, do you confirm that I signed this voluntarily? Every gaze in the hall fell on him.
Selena, stop throwing a tantrum here. Didn't you already agree last night?
Last night? I was at Pinewood Residence last night. I never saw you. A little color drained of Rowan's face.
Maybe the messenger got it wrong. Selena, don't blame Rowan.
The messenger is outside. The moment the maid saw so many people, her legs nearly gave up. Who gave you this declaration yesterday? She did not dare look at Mira. Instead, she looked at Rowan.
Why are you looking at me?
With a thud, the maid fell to her knees.
It was Mr. Rowan. He said that as long as Miss Celia read it at the ceremony, Miss Mira would smoothly become the future Luna Queen.
The entire hall erupted. Mira's face went completely white. Mira began to cry. This time, her tears came faster than ever.
I didn't know. I really didn't know. Rowan said was so willing to help me, so I believed him.
She threw herself toward Damon, trying to grab his sleeve. Damon stepped back. It was only one small step, but everyone saw it.
Mira's hand froze in midair.
Mira, how can you say that? Last night, you were the one who said that. As long as Selena read the declaration, Damon would officially acknowledge you.
I was only too scared! The moment Selena came back, everyone said she was the real heir of Moonstone Pack. I had nothing left. I only wanted to keep Damon.
My mother took a step forward, clearly aching for her.
Mira, are you going to plead for her?
So many Pack representatives were watching. No matter how biased she was, she did not dare say that forging a declaration was not wrong.
Rowan, did you do this?
Rowan looked as if he had been cornered.
I only wanted Mira to feel less upset. Selena has already married Kale. What use does she have for the heir's title now?
So in his eyes, after I had been sent to Kale, a man everyone avoided, I no longer deserved to own anything.
Forging a declaration to force the heir to surrender her status and reduce the Alpha's daughter to a maid is an insult to the old alliance.
Damon finally spoke.
This has nothing to do with me.
Mira snapped her head toward him. Damon did not look at her.
I did not know the declaration was forged. If I had known, I would never have allowed such a thing to appear at the ceremony.
Mira looked at him as if she was seeing him for the first time.
Damon, that isn't what you said yesterday.
Shut up.
The ceremony was forced to stop. Damon turned to leave, but I stepped into his path. Apologize.
What did you say?
You said I had never received proper training. You called me a country brumpin. You said I was only fit to be a lowly maid. Now apologize.
Selena, don't push your luck.
Then let the royal elder write it down. The royal heir refused to apologize after humiliating the heir of Moonstone Pack. The elder really lifted his pen. Damon's expression changed. Mira wanted to speak, but he glared at her so fiercely that she froze. In the end, he clenched his jaw and forced out a sentence between his teeth.
I'm sorry.
To whom? The veins on the back of Damon's hand stood out, was terrifyingly quiet. At last, he lowered his head.
To Selena.
It was the first time he had ever bowed his head to me in front of everyone. I did not accept it. I only picked up the forged declaration, tore it in half, and threw it at Mira's feet. Next time you try to steal my place, remember to find someone smarter to help you. Just then, a suppressed cough came from outside the doors. Kale stood at the entrance, wrapped in a black coat. His face was pale, but his eyes were cold enough to make people shrink back. He was clearly very ill, yet he had still forced himself to come. He looked at Damon.
Even your apology has to be forced out of you. And you think you're fit to be the royal heir? Kale, can your body even handle this? Don't lose control here.
Mira, as if she had finally found an opening, immediately retreated behind Damon. His Highness Kale looks very unwell. Selena, why did you bring him out? What if he loses control and hurts someone? Her voice was not loud, but the she-wolves in the hall all began backing away. Kale's rumors were too terrifying. Everyone feared him. I looked at Mira. You were just crying and claiming you knew nothing. Now you still have the energy to worry about whether he'll lose control? Mira's gaze flickered. Very soon, her maid came over carrying a cup of medicated wine.
Your Highness, the Luna Queen asked the physician to send this. She said it would help stabilize your wolf soul.
I smelled that familiar herbal bitterness. It was the same scent as the medicine bowl at Pinewood Residence.
Selena, didn't you say you understood medicine? Then you should let Kale drink it. You can't expect everyone here to risk themselves with him.
She made it sound so reasonable. If Kale refused to drink, then he was dangerous. If Kale drank and lost control, they could still blame it on his madness.
What are you trying to do now?
If this medicine stabilizes a wolf soul, anyone can drink it, right? I handed the cup to the guard standing behind Damon. You, drink it.
That is for Kale.
So no one else can drink it. Then what is it exactly? Medicine or something that only works on Kale? Mira's lips turned pale. The people below the platform heard the flaw in Mira's logic too. Damon was cornered, so he could only give the guard a nod. The guard drank the medicated wine. At first, he only frowned. Soon, his eyes went bloodshot, his claws extended uncontrollably, and a pained growl tore from his throat. The next second, he lunged at a nearby attendant. Screams exploded. A serving tray crashed to the floor, and wine splashed across the red carpet. Several guards rushed forward and barely managed to pin him down. Explain. Mira's face changed completely.
I don't know. I didn't prepare that.
Your maid delivered it.
She was bought by you!
Was the maid who delivered the forged declaration yesterday bought by me too? Mira had no answer. The way Damon looked at her had already changed.
He finally realized that if he continued protecting her today, he would also be drawn to discuptes medadiju. Damon turned to Mira.
Mira, you've disappointed me.
Mira looked as if someone had slapped her in public.
Damon, you can't do this to me. The medicated wine wasn't only my idea.
Damon shook her off.
Take her away.
The pleading in Mira's eyes turned into terror.
You're pushing me out as the scapegoat?
By the time Mira was dragged into the side hall of the royal city, the hem of her gown was already filthy. She struggled and cried Damon's name. Damon finally came, but he had not come to save her.
Admit that you prepared the medicated wine. As long as you confess, I'll keep you alive.
You want me to take the blame alone? Damon did not answer. Silence was his answer. Mira suddenly laughed. She laughed until tears fell from her eyes.
Damon, you're ruthless. Yesterday you said that once I became the future Luna Queen, Selena would only be able to kneel at my feet. Now that something has happened, you want me to confess alone?
Stop talking nonsense.
Nonsense.
Mira lifted her hand and wiped away her tears. At last, there was no more weakness in her eyes. That cup of medicated wine was sent by your mother's people.
She said that as long as Cale lost control in front of everyone, you could lock him back inside Pinewood Residation for good. By then, who would dare say he had once been more suited to inherit than you?
Shut up!
You knew too. You always knew.
Mira's face flushed from lack of air, but she was still laughing. Footsteps came from outside the door. Damon froze. The side door of the hall was pushed open. The Alpha King stood at the entrance. Behind him was the reigning Luna Queen, her face paper white. Cale stood on the other side, one hand braced against the doorpane, his lips almost bloodless. He had not appeared by accident. The moment the medicated Jor caused trouble in the hall, he had asked the butler to summon the Alpha King. Damon's hand was still around Mira's throat, and Mira had just personally named the reigning Luna Queen as the source of the wine. Every explanation came too late. The Alpha King's gaze settled on Damon.
Let go.
Your Majesty, Mira is agitated and speaking nonsense. She was jealous of Selena and wanted to harm Cale. This has nothing to do with Damon.
Mira looked up at her. In that instant, she finally understood that she had been completely abandoned. She pulled a stack of crumpled letters from her clothes and hurled them onto the floor.
Nothing to do with Damon? Who gave me these prescriptions? Who told me to send medicine into Pinewood Resident? Who said that as long as Cale stayed sick forever, Damon's position would never be shaken?
The papers scattered everywhere. The reigning Luna Queen's face went corpse pole. Damon still wanted to speak, but Mira had already lunged over and grabbed his collar.
You're saying you didn't know now? When you held me and called Selena a country bumpkin, why didn't you say you didn't know?
Damon shoved her away.
Do you all see it now? This is the royal heir you chose.
Mira fell to the floor, blood bursting from the corner of her forehead. The side hall was so quiet that only Mira's breathing remained. The Alpha King bent down and picked up one of the letters. He only glanced at it once before his face turned terrifyingly dark. The letter contained more than a prescription. It also contained a single line.
As long as Cale's wolf soul remains unstable, Damon's sixth position remains secure.
The reigning Luna Queen finally panicked.
I only did it for the stability of the kingdom. Cale had already lost control back then. Everyone feared him. He was not fit to inherit the throne.
Cale coughed once. He did not rage. He did not lunge forward to question her.
So you drugged me for 3 years.
The reigning Luna Queen's lips moved. No words came out. The Alpha King looked at her.
You told me it was medicine to heal him.
I had no choice. Damon is my son. I couldn't watch him spend his whole life beneath Cale's shadow.
The moment those words came out, Damon's face became even uglier because she was not saving him. She was admitting in public that his position had been secured by poison.
Father, I didn't know anything about this. I was kept in the dark too.
You didn't know? Then why did you tell me to confess just now instead of saying we should investigate? You were only afraid I would drag you down with me!
Shut up! Shut up!
You should be the one shutting up. It was the first time I spoke. Everyone looked at me. You say you didn't know about the drug. What about this declaration? Did you not know about this either? Damon's face stiffened. You waited during the ceremony for me to read it. You waited for me to admit with my own mouth that I deserved to be a lowly maid. You didn't know it was forged, but you knew it would destroy me. I turned to the Alpha King. Your Majesty, this is Damon's so-called ceremony for the future Luna Queen. A forged declaration of succession. An heir forced into servitude. Medicated wine meant to provoke the king's eldest son into losing control. Can a royal heir like this truly command the loyalty of the Packs?
Selena!
I did not look at him. The Alpha King closed his eyes. When he opened them again, his voice was cold enough to carry no warmth at all.
From this day forward, Daemon is stripped of his status as royal heir.
Daemon looked as if lightning had struck him.
Father!
Take him away.
The guards stepped forward. Daemon suddenly pointed at Mira.
It was her! It was all her! She wanted to be the future Luna Queen! She was jealous of Selena. She sent the Medicaid wine to Kale.
Mira's eyes widened.
I was deceived by her.
The next second, she lunged at him and bit his arm.
Now you say I deceived you? When you held me and cursed Selena, why didn't you say you were deceived then? The two of them tore at each other inside the side hall. Daemon shoved Mira away. Mira fell to the floor, then crawled up again and clawed at his face.
The royal heir and the future Luna Queen everyone had once envied. When Rowan and my parents arrived, they happened to see that scene.
Mira's hair was disheveled, and she was being held down by the guards. When she saw my mother, she cried.
Mother, save me! You said I was your daughter!
My mother instinctively took a step forward. My father grabbed her hard and held her back. The forged declaration, the changed list, the maid uniform. None of them could wash their hands of it.
Rowan's face was deathly pale. At last, he looked at me.
Selena, I only wanted to make Mira happy for a little while.
Was she happy? Happiness at the expense of someone else's suffering isn't happiness. It's just spite. Vicious, ugly spite. And it makes me sick. Rowan fell silent. He just stared at me, finally seeing that I was no longer the person he'd expected me to be. Daemon had been the royal heir since childhood. Everyone who saw him had always lowered their heads. But that day, his hands were bound, his shoulders were pinned down by guards, and his wolf soul was suppressed so completely that he could not even break free. When Daemon saw me, he suddenly stopped.
Selena.
The guards urged Daemon to move, but he stared at me.
I can restore your status. You were meant to stand beside me. As long as you speak up now, I'll have Father reconsider.
He still had that tone, as if I were only throwing a tantrum, as if the moment he reached out, I should return to him with Grative. I looked at him.
Daemon, do you still not understand? I'm not refusing to marry you because of Kale. I'm refusing because you are not good enough for me.
Daemon's face went pale inch by inch. Kyle stood at my side. His face was still pale, but his fingers held my wrist steadily. Daemon stared at his hand and suddenly lost control.
Kale has been crippled for 3 years! What gives him the right to return?
Because you poisoned me for 3 years and still couldn't kill me.
After that, no one in the hall dared speak for Daemon again. The guards dragged him forward. Daemon looked back once, but no one bowed to him anymore. The pack representatives who had once praised him now stepped aside as if he were something dirty. For the first time, Daemon saw the court from below. When Mira was dragged out, she looked as if her soul had been emptied.
Mother, save me! You said that whether or not I was your biological daughter, I was still your daughter!
My mother instinctively took one step forward. My father seized her arm. The representatives from every pack were watching. If they protected Mira now, Moonstone Pack would be dragged into the scandal of poisoning the king's eldest son. At last, my mother stopped. Mira understood. The pleading in her eyes turned into hatred.
Now you don't want me anymore? Weren't you the ones who put the ceremonial crown on my head? Weren't you the ones who let me sit beside Daemon? Every time I cried, didn't you all said I was more like your real daughter?
Shut up!
You're afraid too!
She was dragged away by the guards, her nails scraping across the floor with an ear-punching sound. Rowan stood nearby, his face ashen. When you crossed my name off the list, did you ever think about what would happen to me? He could not answer, so I answered for him.
No. You only wanted Mira to be happy.
Rowan's lips moved, but the words never came out. 3 days later, Moonstone Pack held an elders' meeting. I did not attend. The butler told me the news. Rowan's name had been crossed off the succession list. That list was hung in the most visible place in the ceremonial hall. Every member of Moonstone Pack could see it. He had once crossed out my name with his own hand. Now, he knew what it felt like to be crossed out.
Rowan, by changing the royal bonding list without authority and witnessing a forged declaration, you have damaged Moonstone Pack's honor before the kingdom.
Rowan stood beneath the list. His face had no color.
I only wanted to calm Mira down. I never meant for it to become this serious.
You did not think it was serious, because Selena was the one paying the price.
The elders did not kill him. He was sent to the coldest patrol line outside the royal city. The wind there was fierce, the nights were long, and in winter, out-of-control wild wolves often approached the border. On his first night on duty, heavy snow fell. He stood in the wind, his fingers turning purple from the cold, but he did not dare take even half a step away. The patrol captain looked him up and down.
You're no longer the heir of Moonstone Pack. Stop acting like you matter.
No one here will indulge you.
Rowan lowered his head. For the first time, there was no one around to excuse him. By the third day after Daemon was taken away, the royal city was still talking about that Fask. Some said that if he had not been so eager to trample on me, he might have at least preserved one last scrap of dignity. Others said that no matter how beautifully Mira cried, she had never been the heir of Moonstone Pack. When those words reached Pinewood residence, Mira was washing bloody linens in the back courtyard. What she used to fear most was hearing people say she had no rightful status. Now, every person who passed by her chewed those words up and spit them back in her face. An injured wolf walked past and looked down at her.
I heard you used to be the future Luna Queen.
Someone beside him laughed.
The future Luna Queen? What a joke!
Mira buried her head very low, but those words still drilled into her ears, every single one of them. That night, she secretly ran to the front hall and knelt outside, wanting to beg me.
Selena, I was wrong. Can you make them let me go? I don't want Daemon anymore. I don't want the Luna Queen's position either.
I stood inside the door and watched her shivering in the cold. Through her tears, she said,
We grew up together.
I smiled. I was only brought back 2 years ago. Mira's sobs stopped for a moment. In these 2 years, you framed me, stole my marriage alliance, tried to force me to read a declaration giving up my inheritance, and even tried to make Chaol lose control. Isn't it a little late to talk about growing up together now? She could not say another word. The butler dragged her back to the rear courtyard. After Chaol stopped taking those drugs, his condition worsened for a while. A wolf soul that had been suppressed for 3 years could not recover overnight. Sometimes at night, he would hurt so bad that his whole body trembled, his fingers digging deep into the edge of the bed. Everyone in Pinewood residence feared he might lose control. Only I stayed beside him. The butler stood outside the door, his voice low with worry.
Miss Selena, you should step back. His Highness may not recognize anyone when the pain rises.
Chaol's breathing was rough. His claws had pressed marks into the wood, but he never reached for me. I dipped a cloth into cold water and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Chaol panted and asked me,
Aren't you afraid?
I am. He looked at me. I changed the cloth, then pressed it gently against his wrist where the pulse was beating too fast. But I hate letting them win even more. Chaol gave a low laugh. That was the first time I saw him truly smile. His smile was faint and exhausted, but it made the room feel less like a sick room.
You chose a difficult road.
No. They chose it for me.
I looked towards from the closed door.
I'm just making sure it leads somewhere better than the place they wanted to bury me.
For the first time since I arrived at Pinewood residence, the so-called madman fell asleep without breaking anything. Half a month later, the Alpha King officially restored Chaol's status as royal heir. That day, the royal city held an oath ceremony. Chaol walked onto the platform in a black ceremonial's cloak.
His face was still pale, but his back was straight. The old ministers who had avoided mentioning his name for 3 years finally lowered their heads.
Kael, eldest son of the royal bloodline, has endured false treatment and unlawful suppression. From this day forward, his status as royal heir is restored.
The packs below the platform knelt.
We honor His Highness Kael!
Kael's gaze did not move to the crowd first. It found me. I stood beneath the platform and watched him take back what had been stolen. Daemon had no right to attend. He had been locked in the northern prison. It was damp and cold there, and every day he could only see a small piece of gray-white sky through a narrow window. Whenever the bells of the royal city reached him, he would slam himself against the door like a madman.
Open the door! I am the royal heir!
The guard outside laughed coldly.
Stop slamming yourself against it. Today is the day. His Highness Kael is restored as royal heir.
Daemon froze. The guard added,
Miss Selena is there too. I heard the Alpha King has already agreed that she will become the future Luna Queen.
This time, Daemon did not roar again. He leaned against the wall and slowly slid down. All of this was supposed to be his. After that day, the reigning Luna Queen was stripped of her honors and imprisoned in the highest tower of the royal city. That tower faced Pinewood residents. Every day, she could see Kael's carriages coming and going. She could see the old ministers bowing to him again. She could see Daemon's place being erased piece by piece. That was more painful than killing her. The first morning after she was locked inside, she still tried to stand like a queen.
Tell His Majesty I demand to see him. I acted for Daemon and for the stability of the kingdom.
The tower guard did not bow.
You have no audience rights left.
She gripped the iron bars.
I am the Luna Queen!
Not anymore.
Outside the tower, the bells rang for Kael's restored oath. Every sound struck the stone room like a sentence. Below stepped out of his carriage, the minister who once avoided Pine Gent low before him.
Your Highness, the border reports are ready.
He did not need to have to shout. Kael accepted the file with it not looking towards in words. His return alone was enough.
Behind the iron bars, the woman who had poisoned him for 3 years watched her own son's future disappear, piece by piece, from a window she could not leave.
After the oath ceremony ended, my parents and Rowan knelt outside the royal city, begging to see me.
When I walked out, my mother seemed to have aged greatly.
Selena, we know we were wrong. Your father is in poor health, and Rowan has been punished. Can you, for the ale of our blood kinds, ask Kael to put in one word for Moonstone Pack?
Selena, I'm your brother.
I looked at his cracked hands. When you crossed my name off the list, did you remember I was your sister? His face went white. I looked at my mother again.
2 years ago, when I had just been brought back, Mira said I pushed her into the water and you made me kneel for an entire night.
I was confused. Mira cried so hard, I thought you were stronger.
So because I didn't cry, I deserved less?
She could not answer.
My father lowered his head.
Moonstone Pack cannot survive if the royal family keeps punishing us.
Moonstone Pack survived when you sacrificed me. I did not soften. You didn't lose me.
I finally stopped choosing you.
I turned and walked back to Kael's side. Kael did not speak for me. He only stood beside me, letting them understand that this time I had someone behind me who would not hand me away.
When the coronation bells rang, every wolf in the royal city lowered their heads.
Kale stood on the high platform.
His face was still pale, but his eyes were calm and sharp.
The Alpha King placed the crown of the future Lunar Queen before me.
Below the platform, the people who had once mocked me no longer dared lift their heads.
I saw Rowan standing in the very last row. The wind and snow had roughened his face, and his shoulders were no longer straight. He wanted to look at me, but he did not dare look for too long. I also saw my parents.
They wore the plainest formal clothes and had been placed as far from the platform as possible. My mother's hands clutched skirt tightly, her eyes painfully red. Once, she had said Mira was more like her daughter. Now, she finally knew what she had thrown away with her own hands.
The Alpha King's voice echoed across the square.
Selena of Moonstone Pack stood before this court when truth was buried, and she exposed a false ceremony, a forged declaration, and a crime against the royal bloodline. From today forward, she will stand beside Kale as the future Lunar Queen.
The crown glowed under the winter light. Kale turned slightly and looked at me.
You don't have to accept because of me.
I'm not accepting because of you. I looked down at the court. All this time I was waiting for a day when I'd rise high enough to make my own choices, and when I'd finally stop living beneath the gaze of people who had no love to give me.
Mira was not qualified to enter the hall. She was in the back backyard of Pinewood residence, holding a basin of bloody water. When the bells rang, her hands shook, and the dirty water splashed all over her skirt. The steward frowned.
Hurry up. Do you think you're still the future Lunar Queen?
Mira lowered her head, and her tears fell one by one into the blood-blind water.
She had once wanted me to wear a maid's uniform and hand her cloak to her in public. Now, she was the one standing in a back backyard no guest would ever see.
Damon heard the bells inside the northern prison. He asked the guard,
"What day is it?"
The new royal heir and the future Lunar Queen are accepting the oaths of the Packs.
Damon pounded on the door until the back of his hand bled.
I should have been the one standing there!
No one paid him any attention.
In the highest tower, the reigning Lunar Queen also heard the bells. She threw herself toward the window and looked through the iron bars at the royal city. There was Kale. And there was me.
No, this should have been Damon's day.
The tower guard closed the viewing slit halfway.
You may watch quietly, or you may watch nothing.
At last, she broke down and sobbed.
On the platform, Kale took my hand. His hand was still a little cold. But it was much steadier than when we first met.
Will you regret it?
And it was the first step took towards the throne. I looked back at Kale.
No.
Kale's fingers tightened around mine.
Then accept the oaths.
One by one, the pack representatives stepped forward. The same people who had whispered that I would not survive Kale now lowered their heads and offered loyalty.
We honor the future Lunar Queen. We honor His Highness Kale.
I did not feel the need to look back at my family again. The crown before me was not a gift from Kale. This is my own choice, and the place I was always meant to stand. This time, no one could cross out my name.
After the oath, the royal elder brought out the new alliance record. The portrait was laid on a stone table before the entire court.
The future Lunar Queen's name must be entered into the royal register before the Packs disperse.
For a moment, I remembered another pen. Rowan's pen. The one that had crossed my name off the bonding list 10 minutes before the ceremony began. That one stroke had been meant to send me into ruin. Now another stroke would seal my return.
Selena of Moonstone Pack, mate of His Highness Kale, future Lunar Queen of the Northern Kingdom.
Your Highness, Moonstone Pack honors the royal decision.
I knew what he really wanted. He wanted me to soften.
This record will not be altered without Selena's consent.
The royal elder nodded once.
By order of the royal court, no one may replace her name, speak for her, or surrender her status on her behalf.
The court heard every word.
So did Moonstone Pack. My name had once been crossed out in secret. Now it was written back in public, where everyone could see.
The next day, Daemon was brought before the royal hearing hall. He no longer wore royal heir's cloak. His wrists were bound, and the guards did not lower their heads when they pushed him forward. Daemon looked first at the Alpha King, then at Chaol, and finally at me.
Father, this is unnecessary. I have already lost my title.
You lost your title because you were unworthy. Today the Pax will hear why.
The royal elder opened the record and read each charge.
Public humiliation of the rightful Moonstone heir, acceptance of a forged succession declaration, attempted use of poisoned medicated wine to provoke His Highness Chaol, concealment of evidence regarding the long-term suppression of His Highness Wolfsoul.
Chaol looked at him coldly. But you plan to benefit from it.
Daemon's eyes flicked toward me.
Selena, tell them I never wanted you dead. I only wanted you to learn your place.
The hearing hall went silent. I stood up. That is exactly why you deserve this judgment.
Daemon stared at me. You thought my place was beneath you, beneath Mira, beneath whatever lie made you comfortable. Now your place is the one the court gives you. The Alpha King struck the stone armrest once.
Daemon is stripped of all royal privileges, inheritance rights, military command, and access to the palace. He will remain in the northern prison until the court decides his labor sentence.
Daemon's face finally cracked.
Labor sentence?
You will repair the same border walls Chaol bled to defend.
Daemon was led away. I stood beside Chaol on the high platform, facing the Pax of the Northern
Court, not me.
I looked at him.
And no one hides poison behind concern again.
A faint smile touched his mouth.
Never again.
He took my hand and led me out. From this day forward, no one would dare change my name on the list again. No one would hand me a maid's uniform. No one would presume to write for me. And no one would ever ask me to step aside again.
I sat in the courtyard, letting the feeling of freedom wash over me. Chaol came up behind me and wrapped his arms around me.
What are you thinking about?
I was wondering, what would have happened if I hadn't taken that crown back then? If I hadn't chosen you?
Suit 1 sat down beside me.
With or without me, you would have become free on your own.
Why do you say that?
Because you're brave and clever. You would never let yourself be someone else's second option. Even without me, you would have found your way out. I just got lucky. Lucky enough to earn your favor. That's my honor.
It was the first time anyone had ever said that being chosen by me was their honor. Meeting you is my honor too.
My dear Luna, may we go without a condom tonight? Father was urging me today to produce an heir.
His erect cock pressed against my pussy, and I quickly grew wet.
Okay.
As his thick cock slid into me, I thought with satisfaction.
I'm so glad I chose him.